Welcome back to part 2 of this documentary on the life of Sir Nicholas Winton, the British Schindler. In part 1, we learned that Sir Nicholas Winton had been born to German Jews and grew up in London before a financial career took him to different European cities. By the 1930s, as the Great Depression gripped the world, his support of the socialist left wing grew. At the same time, he and his peers were appalled by the seizure of power by Hitler in Germany, and the policy of appeasement followed by the British government in the second half of the 1930s. In response to German aggression, the Sudetenland, the area between Germany and former Czechoslovakia, had been ceded. German forces began their occupation in October 1938. In December 1938, Winton made the fateful decision to cancel a skiing holiday in Switzerland and instead visited his friend, Martin Blake, in Prague. Blake was in the city to help the British Committee for Refugees, and in particular wanted Winton's assistance in ensuring the welfare of the Jewish population. Winton immediately recognized that the Jewish community was under threat from the Nazis. To understand why, we need to examine Adolf Hitler's racial policy and remember certain key events in the preceding years. Hitler's first significant step to dictatorship occurred in January 1933, when he became Chancellor of Germany. Immediately, he and his political cronies began to transform the country from the Weimar Republic to a one-party dictatorship. Economically, the German people enjoyed great success. His foreign policy, thanks in large part to the policy of appeasement endorsed by the British and French governments, the refusal of the United States to involve itself in European affairs, and Stalin's isolationist policy also met with success. A third, sinister element of his overarching policy was the elimination of Jews, one way or another, from Europe. Hitler's early anti-Semitism can be traced back to the 2-volume work Mein Kampf, My Struggle, published in 1925, the first volume, and 1926, the second volume. Hitler's central idea was that the established world order was under threat from the Jewish peril, a conspiracy to gain unilateral world dominion. In this work, he makes his first references to genocide and the use of poison gas. Under the Nuremberg laws of 1935, a definition of who was and was not Jewish based on ancestry was established. Effectively, Jews were identified as a separate race, distinct from pure-blood Germans. Citizenship was revoked, and Jews lost the right to vote. As the months and then the years passed by, the victimization of Jews accelerated. No punishment for ill treatment was meted out. Finally, across the nation, on the night of November 9th to November 10th, 1938, the Nazi Party supported widespread street violence and hooliganism that saw over 250 synagogues burned and more than 7,000 Jewish businesses looted and destroyed. The following morning, over 30,000 Jewish men were imprisoned in concentration camps. The night came to be known as Kristallnacht, or the Night of Broken Glass. This was the turning point. Previously, policies had been punitive, but thereafter the violence accelerated. As Hitler pursued his abhorrent racial policy, he was also active in remilitarizing his armed forces and seeking to overturn aspects of the Treaty of Versailles. The leaders of Britain and France were becoming more and more uncomfortable with every new demand. The one that has the most direct bearing on our story of Sir Nicholas Winton resulted in the Munich Agreement, touted by British Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain as guaranteeing peace for our time. Signed in late September 1938, the agreement effectively ceded the Sudetenland, the border between the Reich and Czechoslovakia, to Germany. The entire country was then occupied on the 15th of March, 1939. In the final part of this documentary, I will explain how Sir Nicholas Winton came to save the lives of hundreds of Jewish children. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please hit the like and share buttons and subscribe for future content. If you would like to support this channel, then the link to my Patreon account is listed below. As well as making videos covering World War II, I am also an author. My book, Pegasus Bridge, is the first in a planned series covering D-Day and the Battle of Normandy, and is available on Kindle and as a hard copy from Amazon. The link is below. I write descriptive historical fiction, making extensive use of primary and secondary source material, while filling in the gaps of the historical record with my imagination. Pegasus Bridge covers the incredible, gutsy story of D Company, Ox and Bucks, under the command of Major John Howard, and their vital mission to capture 2 bridges over the Corn Canal and the River Orne, close to Sword Beach. Landing by glider at 0:16 hours on D-Day, the platoons sprung into action in deadly close combat, before fighting off an armoured counterattack. Again, the link is below, and remember, you do not need a Kindle to read the electronic version. You can download the Kindle app for free onto your phone, tablet, or PC. If you would like to keep up to date and join a community of like-minded World War II fans, then please check my Facebook page, D-Day and the Battle of Normandy. Thanks for your time and have a great day. Cheers.